It's a multi-centric world for innovation. Innovation can now come from anywhere. And it can validate that assertion in a number of ways. I mean, you look, for instance, at the functions of our intelligence community. It used to be that our intelligence services were a great deal about protecting our secrets from the bad guys, because we had so many. Now, if you go talk to people in that community, they'll say, well, we're also, frankly, we're now tracking other people's secrets because they're now worth looking at. As a matter of fact, there's technologies out there that we're tracking that we don't quite understand. Right? So it's now intelligence on the offense in addition to the defense. Right? So one big arc of the narrative that I present in the book is that the world is getting a lot smarter about innovation. Capital is global, talent is global. You look at universities like Wharton. Wharton has become a global brand. You can go to Wharton in Singapore. You can go to, major American universities, with some Ivy League exceptions, have realized that they're not geographies, they're brands, right? So you can get a world-class education anywhere. R&D, science and technology are everywhere. The United States actually, in a global study of government support of R&D and R&D tax credits and incentives for doing research, was ranked number 17 worldwide. I mean, our stats are terrible. If we did a report card on the state of play in our country, I think we'd be embarrassed to know the results of that. And so that's the second big narrative. The world is speeding up and getting smarter, and there's ample evidence to show that our innovation engine is beginning to slow down. It's beginning to show signs of erosion. It's beginning to show signs of the innovator's dilemma, popularized by Clay Christensen, where we may be still pretty good at incremental innovation, but we've got a lot of structural problems now. The American Society of Engineers recently issued a report that said that the amount of money required simply to get our infrastructure up to a decent standard so that bridges wouldn't fall down and dams wouldn't burst would be about $1.3 trillion at replacement cost, right? And meanwhile, we're also funding a war that costs us about, we have a debt service of about $2 billion a day on our deficit, and then we're fighting this war, which is very expensive. So, if you were a company, you'd pencil this all out and you'd say, well, so what's our free cash flow like these days? And how are we able to invest in new things? And the answer is not.